I told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Aysha gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Welcome to A Perfect Match, where today we'll be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 14. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason Reed. And actually, before I introduce my other co-host, I have something to take care of. Now that we are officially on camera, let me just get my... Hi. Hey, sweetie. Hey. We hadn't talked in about 20 minutes since before I came down to record this podcast. I just want to check on you, see how things are going. My camera, am I in camera shot? Okay. Yes. Okay. Cool. I'm so concerned about you. I just want to make sure that that you're good. So just doing my due diligence, making sure that that everyone knows I'm calling you. Okay. Because I definitely care. All right. Okay. All right. Bye. Me as always, my co-host Aysha Welch. Aysha, how's it going?
Hey, Jason. Oh my goodness, you are so uniquely unique. Okay.
It's the uniqueness of the uniquity that is extremely unique. You're the most unique uniqueness I've ever uniqued.
Oh goodness, yes. Wow, what an interesting episode.
Listen, it was a first in many ways for MAFS US. Let me make that clear, MAFS US, because the MAFS other international things. This is something that happens all the time. We get new couples midway through because, let's be honest, the international versions of MAFS really only cast for entertainment. They don't cast to keep these people together, and they know that some people are going to be out of the experiment by midway point, so they add couples in, and we get our current cast going to these weddings all the time internationally. But this is a first for MAFS US, where things are sunk so low we had to get new blood in here, and we got the old blood coming in to witness the new blood. Now we'll talk about this as we go along, but this is a good idea or no? We'll talk about it. But yeah, it was definitely, and it was an episode that was centered around one event, one thing. It was what some would call a bottle.
The retreat.
Episode.
It was like the retreat episode.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a bottle episode. It's all shot in one place. And we got minimal involvement from our other couples, which you can say is a good thing or a bad thing. But yes, definitely a first for MAFS US.
We are 3 minutes into this podcast, and you haven't said anything about
your accessory.
My accessory.
Do you fall asleep and get the extra eyelashes?
Right.
What?
I
think she thought that was a laugh riot. She was like, this is really.
She said he asked for silly. I can show him silly. I can show him.
I got silly coming out of my ears. Let me show him this. Like, okay.
I actually thought it was like a fake tattoo. I thought she was acting like, okay, look, I'm on your speed. And then it was like, wait.
Yeah. I was like, wait, how did she know she would get a guy with tattoos and get fake tattoos like this? She was prescient. And then my wife was like, no, that is a fake eyelash. You remember when she said the thing about I was like, oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, so I put a fake eyelash on in the same spot Chloe did. If y'all aren't watching, we'll explain. It was falling.
Oh. I thought you were having it on the whole podcast.
The entire time. She put it more so on the side, but I thought my hair would cover it.
Yes, leave it on.
Imagine, no context. They're like, what is that?
Hey, y'all, I just came from a tattoo parlor.
Right. Exactly.
So I get a little interested in, tat on my face.
Perfect spot. That is the perfect spot for my first tattoo. Yes. Right on my forehead. But we are here to talk about episode 14 of season 17 of Married at First Sight. It wasn't your typical episode. It was a wedding. It was Chloe and Michael's wedding. And we got the wedding, we got the pictures, we got the reception. They said we're gonna squeeze what we usually do in like 3 episodes in one for Michael and Chloe, and then next episode they're going on their honeymoon. You know, to a different city in the state.
Apparently they're staying in Colorado.
Yeah. So we're just going to talk about this one chronologically. And it'll be a little bit unique in just how we go through it. My power went out yesterday. So it was not, no, it didn't. My mom has me saying that. My cable and my internet went out yesterday. I texted that to my mom. I was like, yeah, my cable and my internet went out. Why she text me back like 30 minutes later?
Do you need flashlights?
She said, y'all still in the dark?
I mean, listen, nowadays when your cable internet goes out, you might as well be in the dark. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to do. Like that's all we do now as a society. We need cable and internet to survive. You might as well have just been in the dark doing nothing.
I literally because my brother, he came to town for the evening. And so I was like literally talking him through Love on the Spectrum. And then I was like, okay, there was this other show I watched. Let me tell you about it.
You're describing all the shows like you might as well be acting it out. It's just like TV, right?
We watched the finale of The Trust on my phone.
Using a lot of data on this one. Good thing I got unlimited data from Verizon Wireless.
Oh, then it finally reached like 9:30, and we're like, all right, it's time to call it.
There's nothing else for us to do. There's nothing to do. We might as well just go to sleep. It's like 6 p.m. You're like, I think I'm just going to go to bed.
I'm going to call it.
I have been in situations where there's no cable or no internet. Not like just like you. And I was just like, it just really makes you think. Like, I'm so reliant on internet and cable now. Like, I just don't know what else to do.
Literally. So yeah, because I was without
there
cable.
Were times when there was no TV and no internet. What did people do?
What did we do? I was like, I guess I could pull out a book, but
who wants to do that? All the books are on my Audible account. I can't even get to them right now without the internet.
I know. I was like, look, because my cable and my internet were out, not my electricity. I couldn't watch the episode last night, so I had to watch it today during the day. So Jason's gonna be in the driver's seat.
You got all that money and can't afford to keep your internet and cable on. Man, that's a shame.
So if you're in the Houston area, you know that there has been torrential downpour all week, like since Monday. The bayou that I walked the dogs by flooded. The whole sidewalk was flooded.
Listen to that, y'all. She lives by a bayou.
Oh, it's Houston.
My gosh. You can't afford to dome your house and save your house from all that torrential downpour. Down by the bayou on my riverfront property. Gosh. Aysha Welch strikes again.
So, anywho. Yeah, so because of that, when I was looking at the Xfinity map, it showed the area as where the bayou was. So I was like, maybe that's why. They didn't, and then it wasn't back up until midnight last night. So, rough life I'm living.
So I got stuck with the task of recapping everything for y'all. I'm so sorry you don't get to hear Aysha's voice more this episode. You just be my smooth, silky, sultry voice recapping the entire episode. So
they're
sorry.
like, this sounds like a monologue. Off.
I'm so sorry.
Put people to sleep.
That you have to suffer through my voice.
It's like that podcast that is intentionally, it's so boring so that people can go to sleep. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know, forgot what it's called, but yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. But yes, make sure y'all go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed. We can get all of our podcasts. Married at First Sight, Love is Blind. It's coming back on February 14th. So keep an eye on that. It'll be in this feed. So if you subscribe to Love at First Sight feed, you can hear it. And you can see it if you subscribe to the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and review. We do want to shout out a few today. So one is from 849058023. You.
Must compute.
It's like, I was like, is that a phone number? Then I was like, not quite enough numbers. It's one short.
And there's a letter in there.
Yeah. You. And so a much needed respite every, I'm going to say week, maybe.
Yeah,
It
let's
cut
go
off.
with that every week.
So I look forward every week to Jason and Asia's banter, laughter, and analysis of MAFS as a break from the hard stuff. They are smart, kind, and funny and provide humorous, insightful takes, along with gentle ribbing of each other without being crude. I enjoy Jason's impressions. Asia's dog talk is fine with me, but no need to increase it for us non-dog people.
Amen. Amen. 849058023U. Amen. Finally, some correct talking people on these reviews.
Oh my! I said that, and I said, "Wait, is this 5 stars?" Then they said, "Glad they are no longer arguing about Lauren and Orion."
Nothing to argue about anymore. It's over.
Oh my goodness. So thank you for the review. I appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. I do understand that not all people are dog people. I myself didn't even used to be a dog person. I'm new to this world. But when I
used to be afraid of dogs.
I used to be afraid of dogs. Yes. Growing up, I'd say probably so it was definitely through college. And then just after college is when I started easing into it.
Now you're all about it.
Then when my roommate got a dog a few years ago, I was like, oh, I need to get with it. And look at me now.
About it. People were asking you to stop talking about it.
You gave me that alley-oop. I had to give the people context, okay? The next review is from Heidi SW, one of my favorite podcasts. Love the banter between Jason and Aysha. Make me laugh out loud every single week. Love Jason's impressions and Aysha's dog talk. See, like, I don't know. Where do we go from here?
We have such contrasting views. What are we going to do? You talk about it, don't talk about it anymore. What are you going to do, Aysha? I think
we try to be the people's podcast.
You know, just can't please everybody all the time.
Seriously, look forward to this podcast every week and get impatient. We waiting for the release. They do a great breakdown of the show and couples. Please keep doing your thing.
We will. Gonna do one of my first was gonna be Acris 3, my favorite recap podcast. Can Aysha shut the heck up about these dogs? Oh my god. No, just kidding. It is titled My Favorite Recap Podcast. I'm a relatively new listener, but I can't get enough of these two. It's like chatting with two friends about one of your favorite shows. It's so laid back and easy to listen to as I wind down. Thank you for bringing extra laughter and light into my weeks.
Aw,
we do help people wind down. We are like that, take you to sleep podcast.
You're like, so Michael and Chloe.
Brennan once again rolled his eyes at something Emily said.
Then all of a sudden, Emily broke a glass.
Oh my god. The next one I'm going to do is from MK Mosley. It says, love this podcast. I look forward to this podcast every week. Jason and Aysha really take time to get the details right. They are very funny, and the banter between the two of them is great. I find myself talking to the podcast. They are like my friends in my head. We're not just in your head. We're out here too. We're outside of your head.
Hey, join the Facebook group, and you can be our Facebook friend.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
In the group.
Yeah. Yes, in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are our reviews for the week.
Yeah. So speaking of the Facebook group, make sure you go join it. You can find us at A Perfect Match Podcast on Facebook. And we have a great time in there with the 700 plus people in there talking about the show.
Over 800 now, Aysha.
What? When I said, as the thought formed and it was about to come out of my mouth, I was like, you know what? I haven't looked in a long time. I don't know if it's still just 700. But the train had already left the station. So with the 800 plus people in there enjoying, oh my gosh, when we reach 1,000, we got to do something special. But join the Facebook group this week. There is a password every week. So this week, the password is...
Give me those hands.
As the great Chloe said.
Give me those hands. She did it more than once inside of the whole thing. Like, give me the hand. All right, Chloe.
Yes.
Give me those hands.
Well, without further ado, let's talk about this episode.
Yeah, so we kick off the episode. Everybody's getting ready. We do see Austin and Becca on a plane going to Philly to visit his grandma.
They fooled me. I was like, okay, oh great, we're seeing them off. Maybe we're gonna get some check-ins. We even got check-ins last season with Gina when she was traveling. Like, we didn't get a single. We have no idea how that went.
This isn't about Austin and Becca, Asia. It's about Michael and Chloe. Okay, this is Michael and Chloe's episode with cameos from the other cast.
I need some context, because for you to give me what you gave me on the next time on, how is that not a great trip?
Right. I mean, it seems like we just went right back to where we're going to based on the preview. We're right back to where we are with Austin and Becca after that. So no funny business happened at grandma's house, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we do get Michael talking about on a confession cam saying, he doesn't get more worried as he looks on his wedding day. He says he hopes that he can still be supportive just in case this happens again. He doesn't want this to happen. This is the first thing that happened again as the girl runs out. He says, hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, I'm still gonna be supportive of her, but I'm hopeful all will be good today. Then
could you imagine after 17 seasons, right? This is the first time it happens.
And
if it happens again,
oh my gosh,
to the same man,
something's definitely wrong with him. Then it's gotta be.
If I were Michael, I would never trust a woman again. I would be done.
Over and out. Yeah. Just never dating again. I'm just meant to be alone, apparently. That's what I would think. We then see the others getting ready for the wedding. The others being Brendan and Emily, Claire, and then not Lauren and Orion. I said, who invited them? What? Why?
Not Where was Onion. Their invite scene?
Right.
They might as well have been there playing pool last episode.
Why do I have to see Onion again? Why is he here? Lauren, yeah, she can come. Onion, no.
Yeah, I was less than thrilled to know. Oh gosh, we're about to, because we're gonna have to go back down that storyline. Not even a storyline, but I knew that they were gonna have them try to have a conversation, right?
And we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to do flashbacks in, because as you like to say, Married at First Sight acts like everyone is coming in. This is the first episode.
Every week.
We had to explain
every week
the whole
is a standalone
story.
Movie. Yeah. Every single week.
We had to get the whole backstory again. Like, I thought we were done with this. I thought we were done.
Just when I was wondering, how are they gonna make this wedding an hour and a half?
Added nonsense.
Oh, it's because we have to have context for all of these people, because this week there are brand new people tuning in, apparently.
Yeah. So then we see Chloe before the wedding meeting with her bridesmaids. She says she hopes that once they get down the aisle, she and whoever she's matched with are both going to be so excited and happy to embark on a life together. He's with his groomsmen. He's got the same groomsmen except one. One is a rookie. He's new to the scene of being Michael's groomsman. So we flash back and forth between the two. Chloe talks about how, every relationship she's ever had, she's loved the person, but she's never been with anyone that's right for her. She says she's never even been vulnerable in past relationships because she was too much of a perfectionist to let her flaws show. But she knows this time is going to be different. She is letting go of all control here. She's ready to meet the man she's been waiting for her entire life. She just wants him to be authentically himself.
I was like, when she said that, I said, okay, that's Michael.
Perfect. You're desperate. This is great. You'll take anyone. No. Guess what we got? Anyone. Take it.
Look, she wants someone who is authentically themselves. Mm-hmm. That is Michael.
That is Michael for sure. I think it's going to test the limits of, well, you said you want someone that's authentically themselves. Here you go.
So when he's being authentically,
open away. You asked for this. This is what you wanted. So Mike is talking to his new groomsman Danny, and Danny's like, I mean, this isn't a thing for me. Like, I wouldn't do this, but this is perfect for you because you are a guy that goes with the flow naturally. You're kind of the guy that will take it as it comes. Mike says, his first wedding felt like the biggest personal failure of his life, and having to face that again is scary. But he knows that he wants this, and that that the right person is going to be the light in his life, and they will bring each other happiness. Michael says he is looking forward to the small things, like going to the grocery store on a random Tuesday night. Now, I watched this on Wednesday, And I'll be damned if me and my wife did not go to the grocery store on Tuesday night. I was like, we talk about
like,
us.
That is married life.
That's so creepy. That is like the small things that happen in your married life. We went to the grocery store Tuesday. Well, last night.
You're like,
Oh
you
my
pause. How does Michael know?
Are they watching us?
You look up. There's like a MAFS labeled
When
Nest camera.
When did that camera get here? Has it always been here? Michael also says he knows what rejection feels like now, but he fears seeing that look again on his bride's face, but he is hopeful for a happier time this time.
I still want to know if that was actually her.
I just don't think so. I really want to know what the setup for that was. Were they like, did they foresee trouble coming with the lady? And they're like, okay, we got to retake this scene all over again. This time we won't have anybody on the bride's side. We'll get a production assistant to dress up in a wedding dress, and we'll only see the back of her. We'll get someone to tape the ADR saying, I can't marry a stranger.
You are so nice. You are such a nice guy.
I can't marry a stranger.
It was just too. I'm like, if you were deciding no after going through this whole thing, you wouldn't be that cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I really want the inside story on this. I would pay an Aysha Welch sum of money to find out the story.
I would pay like $10. Like if they were offering
$10. That's how she got that money. She cheated. $10. My gosh. Anyway, we're back with Chloe, and I don't know why they chose this moment to tape her, but I was taken aback because she's getting her makeup done, and of course my wife had to explain to me like, oh no, they're like something about contouring, and I was like,
yeah.
So they had to make her face look like a skeleton, like extra pale like that. She was like, yes, they have to do it to get all the angles. And I was like, okay. But this was a bad moment to be doing it. I was like, why does she look like that? Like, what? I was scared. I was like, what happened? What happened to her? Why is she so pale? Is she that upset? Is she that has that much anguish about this wedding?
Yeah, that's just makeup. The process of makeup. Go watch some makeup tutorials on YouTube. You'll get it.
No, thank you. I'll skip it.
TikTok.
No, thank you. I'll skip it. Chloe does say, Chloe in her skeleton makeup. She says a year ago, she didn't think this would be an option. She was too busy looking for what's perfect on paper to see beneath the surface. She's dated a lot of lame men, and at this point, she had to do something different. So now she isn't projecting perfectness onto anyone. She just hopes she'll get a nice, big, kind-hearted man. I said, okay. I think you got that. You got that, okay?
Yeah, he's kind-hearted.
And then she tells a story about the last time she and her friends were in Vegas, and they were talking about the next time we're in Vegas, you're going to have a man. And they took a picture of an empty chair where this man will be sitting next time they're in Vegas.
It's called manifesting.
Man, get it? Manifesting? Wow. That's clever. That's clever.
Yeah.
And a little sad.
And because she says, and I still have that picture. She said that as if like still having a picture isn't a thing anymore. It's on your phone.
You've got 20,000 pictures.
I'm like, you know what? I still have that picture. Back when we were printing pictures and stuff, that makes sense.
That's just why would
like, you still have your phone?
I would be like, if my friend did that to me, I'd be like, why are you digging at me like that? Like, I would think that as a personal friend, like, I'm gonna take a picture of this empty chair because you ain't got no man, and this is gonna be your man since when you finally get a man. Okay.
She obviously thought it was a great idea because that never had to see the light of day, but she showed us.
She didn't have to tell that story, but she did.
Right.
So Michael's with his groomsmen. And he talks about, the first time I got married, I wanted to wear something understated so that she could really get to know the real me first. But now I'm going with the inverse. I'm going to show her who I am with my clothing, with my fashion, with my clothing. We see him getting ready, and somehow, he has emotionally come to terms with the first wedding, how that went. And he knows now he's even more ready this time. And with this suit, he wants this to be a fuller reflection of himself right off the bat. Mike tells his guys, listen, I don't need her to be as, eccentric as me, but if she likes someone that's clean cut, I might not be the one for her. And he talks about how he wants a dynamicness from his wife, and hopes that her humor is as close to his as close to his and his friends. Well, Michael, this is a knee slapper, right? The fake eyelash on the forehead.
She's so silly.
Is that close? I don't know. I actually also haven't gotten any like humor out of Michael, so I don't know what his brand of humor is.
Maybe it's because like what he's looking for is someone to bring that out of him.
Maybe. Chloe's still getting ready. She asked her friends, "So what are you scared of for me?" One of her friends, Brandy, says, "Well, I just don't think anyone's good enough for you." Not in like a crappy way. She's like, "I just don't think anyone's like, is up to your level." And Brandy does say, she's going to be very protective, and she hopes that he knows how great of a person that he has. Chloe says that her fear is that he won't feel the same way about her as she does to him. What if she really likes this guy and he's just not into it? She says she's already so committed. She would be devastated if that happened. I mean, listen, if she only knew, right? If she only knew what Michael had been through, I think she wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, very true. I haven't referenced a TikTok in a while on this podcast. I did see a TikTok today that you could tell me if this is true, if you remember back pre-marriage.
All those years ago.
Guys and girls date differently. We know this. But when girls date, so when guys date, they're starting at a 0. You build up and you start liking more and more. And then it's just like, eventually it's like, oh my gosh, this is this person that I like, that I'm dating, or like that is worthy of me dating, basically. If I said that right. Whereas girls started at 100. Like, oh my gosh, so excited. Like and then it goes down. Yeah.
I don't like to generalize men and women like that.
Right.
But no, I don't think that's true. I think of it as a man, if you were dating someone that you had been like really crushing on, right? You're like, I would love to go out with that lady, with that woman, and you finally got the chance. You would start at 100.
You would be at 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, with a woman that's like, I wasn't really feeling this guy, but let's take Justin and Alexis from whatever season that was.
San Diego, season 15,
something like that. I think that might be a situation where that was the inverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we think about Justin, who had been crushing on Alexis since he saw her on whatever dating app that was.
Yeah.
And then Alexis was like, ugh, I don't think so. Justin started at 100, Alexis started at 0. And then, the things went haywire. But I think more often than not, it's the situation that you're talking about.
That's valid. I could see that.
I forgot I was doing that. I was like, go ahead, Aysha. And then in Michael's, like, what would you call it? Groomal suite. It's not a bridal suite. The groomal suite. Groom room. Wouldn't you know it? These two jamokes, these two idiots, these two dummies, the two worst guys on this season, basically, Brennan and Orion, come a-calling to Michael's room. Like, oh, what are these two idiots gonna say?
Production was like, please don't say nothing. Just please.
This was a risk. This was a risk. Having all these people here was a risk, especially
huge
for these people.
Risk.
It was really a risk reward type of thing. It would be like, it would be so fun to have the current cast at this wedding, right? They'd be like, yeah, but if they're gonna talk these people out of this, like, that's definitely what you have to think about.
Because what Lauren on After Party said, they all agreed beforehand to not talk about their own relationships.
Yeah. So before Brendan and Orion went in there, the Montre was like, listen up, y'all. You better act right. I'm taking away your stipend for the day. Okay.
You are not to mention the word Emily. You do not say Lauren. You were just supportive friends. That's it.
If anyone asks how you feel about Emily, you say you like her. Okay.
Yes. Till death do you part.
Right. You get your act together. So Michael says, so guys, tell me what I'm in for. I'm like, how would these two know? Right. Brennan says, remember,
they're like, oh, we're done.
Yeah. Didn't you hear? I'm being held against my will, and this guy left not even a week in.
He's like, I don't even feel me anymore.
Yeah. Brennan, with a straight face, says, ride the process. Don't fight it. Stay true to yourself.
Just talking to talk. Talking to talk.
And then Orion, also with a straight face, says, it can be tough. And as long as you're open and ready for it, the sky's the limit. How would you know? You left after 3 days, sir. Stop it. Stop.
The sky is the limit as long as she acts how you want her to act.
Sir, you got like 10 feet up in the air and you quit. The sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit. He got to the top of the stairs. He said,
you know what?
This is a little too high.
This is my limit.
I can't go any further.
Don't worry about getting up in the air. This is my personal limit right here. But for you, Michael, the sky's the limit. For me,
right.
It was like a little
do as I say, not as I do.
Right, exactly. That was what this was, 100%. We then, for some reason, have to hear Onion in a confessional. Onion says, I'm here to support Michael. But, there's some sadness because this is where me and Lauren started and it didn't end well. He says he is nervous to see Lauren again and he's unsure how he's going to approach it. Leave, as he should approach it. Michael says he will need their insight into this, as his journey goes along. I said, no, you don't. Do not take their insight. Do not take their guidance. Do not ask them any questions. Okay?
There was no insight in that proximity.
Michael, there is no help for you here in this cast. Okay. Do not ask nothing to this cast.
Don't ask Austin. Do not ask Cameron.
None of them know. None of them know. So do not ask anyone for help from this cast. Okay. That's the help I'm giving you, Michael, from the future. Do not ask them anything.
The best thing he could do is find Chris from last season's number to talk to.
100%. Get onto that alumni network, find Chris, and that's where that's the guy that'll steer you right. Okay.
Because if I was it was the biggest risk having them there because I would have been so afraid.
Orion should have just been like, I don't know, man. When it gets hard, just dip out.
Like, you don't have to stay.
Like, he literally told that to Cameron, like, not even 4 episodes ago.
Yeah, literally.
It's not for you, just leave. Like, that's, Montre got into his ears, like, listen up. You better not say no crap like that again to this guy over here, okay?
Then in a few episodes, something we've never done before, we're going back in the pool and we're going to match 2 more people. They're going to get married.
Man, I tell you. Chloe comes out in her wedding dress to her bridesmaids. We see that she's wearing pink Converse instead of heels. Ooh, what a go-getter. what a controversial decision. Look at me. I'm unique. I'm wearing pink Converses. But listen,
she's matching his suit.
Hey, they're both wearing pink. This can only go right? See, this is a sign. So she says she's getting really emotional. It's all starting to hit her. It's hitting her like a ton of bricks. Honestly, she's looking like the look on her face got me worried. I was like, are we going to get another run out?
She got nervous.
She was like, do I want to do this? So we then get a producer. I can only assume this is a producer bringing both Michael and Chloe gifts that, their bride / groom got them. Michael got her a diamond necklace, which I was told was from Tiffany's. Ooh. So I'm because I do remember it. I think he got his other bride some sort of jewelry. I was like, what did he go and exchange it?
Right?
Yeah, she gave it back. Like, did he go and exchange it? Was this the same one?
Hopefully.
Like, which one was it?
Just pull from that same chunk of money.
Mm-hmm. Can I get exchanged? I'm going to marry someone else now.
Right.
Like, huh?
They're like, he's just like, just a different one. I think that'd be awkward if I gave her the same one.
Don't worry about the details. Just give me a different one. She got him cufflinks. And he's like, you know what? Even though these don't match my outfit, I'm going to wear them anyway. I said, yeah, Haley from the Houston season. When you get a gift, you put it on.
Oh, no. Haley and Jake?
Yeah.
That wasn't Houston. Wasn't that Atlanta?
Sure. Why not?
I just feel like, because I'm so tapped into the Houston season where I'm like, if I run into them, I'm gonna say hi.
Houston.
And Haley and Jake are not on that
Yes,
radar.
they were from the Atlanta season, the same season as Chris.
Oh yes.
Unfortunately.
Go check it out on Netflix, y'all.
Yeah. When Chloe got this necklace, she's like, "Oh my gosh, who is at the end of this aisle?" I was like, "It's just a necklace. Like, relax."
I mean, it's not like inexpensive.
No, I know, but she's like, as if he gave her some I'm going to use the word unique gift. I actually I wonder if he did give her something weird and unique, and they just didn't show it, because that whole like, who is at the end of this aisle, isn't like, oh my gosh, this is such a crazy gift. He must be like a interesting guy.
Mm.
Who knows? We see so little of what actually happens.
Right.
Time for the big wedding, the big events that we're all here for. Wedding time. Michael enters the what did you call this? Venue, the chapel. Well, it's not a chapel, but
Yeah, the ceremony.
he enters the ceremony. Michael is so awkward here in many different ways. He's walking down the aisle, he's bantering with the bride side. He's like, "Hey guys, hope my side of the family's treating you all well." I was like, okay, weird.
His nervous personality came out.
Yeah. We see Chloe in the back. She's cursing up a storm. She's like, it just beeps galore. She's like, she's very nervous. She says she's about to throw up. She says her perfectionism is popping up again, and she's freaking out about her lack of control. She says she knows there's a possibility he might not be the person for her, but she wants to be married more than anything. Producer's like, perfect.
That's exactly the kind of person we want.
You'll take anyone we throw your way. So then we get the bridesmaids coming into the wedding. Mike banters with them a little bit. He's like, "Hey guys," he asked for hairspray for his hair. It's like, okay, all right. Brennan, who whenever Brennan talks to anyone that's not Emily, he shines. He's like bantering the brides. He's like, "Hey, you guys nervous?" Okay, where did this personality come from? What is this? Where is this old bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Brennan?
He acts like he has genuine hatred in his marriage.
Can't stand it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, with Chloe's mom and her friend Cesar come and join her. Chloe tells us her dad's battling health issues right now, so he's not here, but mom is here to walk her down the aisle. Mom, tells her that she loves her. She said, marriage is so important to me and your dad. We've been married 40 years. Marriage does have its up and downs, but it's okay. It's okay that he's a stranger. We were all strangers once. And mom just knows whoever's at the end of that aisle, she knows he's going to be awesome. It's like, all right, mom, being very supportive. I like that. I like it. Chloe enters the wedding. She enters the ceremony. She's all smiles. She's like, "Oh, well, hello." As she's down the aisle, she comes down the aisle. He tells her she looks beautiful. I was like, okay, good. She's like, little more awkward banter. Before they start, she says, "Give me those hands." They like holding hands at the altar. Give me those hands. I was like, what the heck?
I was happy about the genuine smile when they did initially see each other. Like, I was like, okay, the attraction feels like it's there. Did you not get that vibe?
Yeah. I'm having trouble reading Chloe.
Okay.
Half the time I'm like, okay, this is good. The other half I'm like, is this real though? I think this season has really hit me. It has made me a little jaded and judgy to some of these people, because I'm like, I'm just trying to read it. I'm just like, is she saying what she should say right now, or is she really feeling this? So throughout this whole episode, I'm trying to decipher what's really happening here. I want to give Chloe the benefit of the doubt, of course. I'm just like, is she really this happy though? Like, because she's really putting it on. I was like, is this real? I don't know.
I think it was that moment at the reception when she's like, "Look at him. He looks so handsome."
Yeah. Listen, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that.
It just scares me seeing on him on the after parties we have seen him having his haircut.
And just so wildly different.
Because I'm like, I feel like he likes his hair right now, right? And usually when people do something dramatic with their hair,
it's a big change.
Yes.
Big change. His hair was so interesting. It was almost like those graduation tassels. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's like once I get married, I'll put it over on this side. Like graduating to marriage. It was just hanging out there like some loose cabbage or something. Just like
And he had a heart cut into the side.
Yeah. A lot going on there.
That's what you should have did before the podcast. Have your wife cut a heart into the side.
That would have been a little too far. So we get Chloe's. We get the whole typical married at first sight wedding. Chloe's friends want you to know this Albuquerque native is adventurous, witty, compassionate, caring. One of her biggest passions is her dogs. She's the sweetest, kindest, most charismatic woman you'll meet. And to quote the maid of honor, she has brains, beauty, and boobies.
And then Michael, I'm trying not to look.
Huh? That just didn't fit. I was just like, what? Okay, cool, whatever. We kind of get the same thing from Michael's friends and family. He's wise, thought-provoking, caring, blah blah blah. Grew up in LA. It's where he found his fashion sense. You might struggle to find room in his closet for your clothes. He is an animal lover. He's adopted 3 pets, and they all have smooshed faces. Aysha, pet enthusiast, animal lover. What is a smooshed face?
Like a pug. But Daisy said 2 of his cats have smooshed faces.
Smooshed faces.
So I'm like, yeah, I have a smoosh face for you. Let's see. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see this. But this is a smooshed face cat.
Okay. All right.
And then we have pugs. So, like that.
Okay, a Luna.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they used to have to clean her little crevices because her face is so smushed.
All right, so smooshed face. Okay, got it. You could have just said weird face, and I would have said, all right, cool.
I would have said, all right, yeah.
We get the vows. Honestly, nothing really stuck out to me with the vows, so we'll just skip that.
Really? I mean, and she... you know what? I was about to say, yeah, nothing stuck out. But it did stick out to me, her saying, like, I know you are built for me. I know standing here in front of you, like, you were the one for me. I was like...
You wrote this an hour ago, like 2 days ago. How did you know you're going to be feeling this way?
Exactly.
Doesn't seem genuine to me.
I'm like, wait a second, Chloe.
She's like, whoever this guy is how I'm gonna feel about this. That's how much I want this. Okay?
They need to just scrap the vows.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It needs to be a part of it, but it just always feels like on Charlie Brown, the womp 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 womp.
as Emily will say later, it just seems so vanilla. Damn, Emily. Okay. So Michael and Chloe get to the end of their vows and they do kiss. It's very nice kiss. They go in for seconds even a little bit. I was like, okay.
And he asked, he said, may I?
Man. So yeah, okay. We got some chemistry happening here. Okay, I can see it. And then they walk, they do the walk of glory outside down the aisle. She tells us she's very attracted to her husband. It feels like he's a really good man, and she feels like he has a really good heart. In a confessional, he says he couldn't have hoped for a better experience. She comes off as a super sweet girl, and that's exactly what he was looking for. Remember, that sweetness is what really turned the page for the experts. Oh, you wanted someone sweet? Why didn't you say that in the beginning, Michael? You got just the
silly too. Early on, she probably did say, I do have this one trick with an eyelash.
It's super silly.
Wait till I pull it out.
Someone's looking for a silly girl. I'm your girl. Yeah, so they get to they do the little outside thing where they go sit down and talk. She tells him, she's looking for that big beautiful heart in a man, and she thinks he has it. He's like, well, let me tell you the 3 things I was looking for: intelligence, sweetness, and silliness. And he says, from what I can tell, you have that as well. He's excited to learn about her and her animals. She says, I do have a 10-year-old pit bull and a 14-year-old blind, it was a poodle, right? A 14-year-old blind poodle.
Yeah. And what's funny that she revealed on After Party is she got this dog when she found out that she didn't get matched. She was like, well, let me go ahead and adopt another animal.
Let me adopt some short-term care animals.
Like, that's very interesting because that would well, she's so experienced, I guess, with fostering animals. But I'm like, I wonder if she's still getting used to taking care of this one if it's so fresh. They've only been married like what, a month?
What do you mean?
The other couples have only been married a month.
Yes, yeah.
So from when she would have found out, what, 2 weeks prior or whatever. So she's only had this dog for like a month and a half.
Yeah, he tells her he does have a 4 and a 5-year-old cat. She's like, oh, it's gonna be a zoo around our place. He does say in a confessional, the flow is really great. He feels a very natural momentum with her. Then we get the moment we've all been waiting for, the bomb drop. He says, listen, I know probably you're confused about some people that were on your side of the aisle. You didn't know who they were. I didn't think that. I said when I saw them sitting on her side, I was like,
why?
Like, you would think as she's walking down the aisle, she's like, who are those people?
Right. And then why did they put Lauren? Why was Lauren sitting on the other side from them?
It was Lauren and Claire that was sitting on the other side.
Oh, yes, Claire
Lauren was
like,
I ain't sitting next to him. I ain't even sitting in the same section as him. Do not put me over here. And Claire was like, I'm gonna go with Lauren. She's my girl.
Right. They are friends.
Yeah. And can you imagine also, like, you were probably capped at a number of people you could invite to this small ass wedding. And they're like, oh, yes. And you also have to lop off 3 of that because we have some other special guests coming. She's like,
VIP.
Some VIP. So you have to take off 3 people from your list. Like, what? Come on. No. Good thing Cameron's sick because she would have to take another person off. So he does tell her, like, listen, I know you saw some people on your side you didn't know. And that those are the other people that got married at first sight. And originally, I was going to be married alongside of them. But the woman they picked for me backed out the last minute. He says, but don't worry. Our journey is our journey. He assures her that she is not getting a broken man. He is there for her and their journey together. Nothing from that previous wedding is going to be about anything is going to be about this here. She says, well,
real quick, no matter how I feel about them withholding this from her, which I did not like before getting married, I did think that he said this in the best way in the best way possible. I felt like he was genuine. I felt like he was very conscious of, like, this is some probably tough information to receive. Yeah. And I just felt like he showed a level of, like, emotional maturity that could help her see, like, okay, this is tough, but I understand where he's coming from because he just communicated that really well. So I was like, bravo, Michael. I like that.
Yeah. And she says, well, what is meant for us will never, ever pass us. I was like, oh, okay. All right, poet. Hey. All right, poet. He says, oh, that's good. That's really good. She says,
let me write that down.
Yeah, she tells him, listen, she wasn't meant for you. And now here we are. Now here we are. And it's going to be epic. It was almost like, I guess we're just stuck here then. I was like, okay. So after that, we get all the post-wedding fun. We get the other MAFSers are hanging out outside. Or they say they have good hopes for this. Chloe's fun. She seems fun, says Emily. Claire says she gets a really good vibe from her. This is where Emily says, I don't know, the vows are a little vanilla. Everyone's like, damn, Emily. All right. Coming out swinging.
I'd like to hear your vows.
Yeah, for real. So Michael and Chloe come out to meet them. They all welcome Chloe to the group. Mike says, having you guys here really kept my nerves at bay. Everyone introduces themselves. Claire. She says, hi, I'm Claire. My husband isn't here today, but you'll meet him later. Cameron said when, because I ain't coming back. You're never going to see me again.
If I knew your last name, I would say it. Claire. What reality are you in right now? Did we not all I thought we all saw it. They had their own version. We're deciding this is it. We're going our separate ways. This is not happening.
Asia, I'm telling you, they did not do the whole, like, take my ring off, set it on the table. We get a long shot of the rings on the table. They didn't do that. Okay. So Claire probably still has her ring on. She's like, I'm not taking this ring off. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember that conversation where we said divorce. I said separate. Okay. So we are just separated right now. We are not divorced. He is still my husband. I still have every right to be on this show.
So she probably is going to be preparing for decision day. And she was like, all right, let me know what time I need to be there. And they just don't have the heart to tell her, Claire, you are not married anymore. So then they have to do a decision day.
Cameron is not even in the state right now. He's on some biking trip. Like he's gone, Claire. He's gone.
Right.
She said, my husband's not here today. Like, he's not your husband anymore, Claire. He just isn't.
But you'll meet him. What? And the fact
Cameron
that she
said, when?
so comfortably
Where?
called him her husband, like,
so
there is nothing about her that thinks that they are not together right now.
She's like, it's just this heart thing. He's just, when he's gonna come back, he's not coming back, Claire. He's not coming back. He's done. He's over. He's refusing to film. He's done. He's over. In a confessional, Chloe does say it's kind of nerve-wracking to be the new girl on the block. And, she's just excited to get a feel for how all this is gone for them. Well, you're in for a surprise.
Right.
I did want to get a explainer to Chloe, like, well, this is what happened with me and my ex-husband now. This is going on with them, and this was going on with them. So pretty much nothing went well here. I did kind of want to see that.
The most solid couple is on a trip right now, and they're not even that solid.
Yeah, they're like they're not having sex.
I just thought it was like, if I were Chloe and I was meeting them at this moment, I would have been like, oh wait, so are the people standing by each other together, or who's together? Because nobody was standing.
Yeah, get in your little groups. I want to see who's with who.
Who's with it? Like, I would have been like, oh, okay, who's your husband? I don't know.
And why is this one here by herself?
Oh, she's like, I'm the friend in this experiment.
Right. Like, she's probably counting like, there's one extra, I think. Did she lose her husband? Like, what's happening? Are we on Seeking Sister Wife? I didn't know. What's going on?
Imagine Chloe's surprise later when she finds out from Michael. Yeah, so Lauren and Orion, they were married. They're not together anymore. And
Brendan can't stand Emily.
Right. Claire and Cameron, I thought they weren't together, but she said husband, so maybe they worked it out, and I didn't know.
But I'm not there every day, so I don't know for sure. So Chloe was still with the group. She's like, I wasn't even supposed to be here, I guess. Laura said, no. You were. You just didn't know it yet. It was meant to be for you. They all toast to Chloe and Michael as they all want a long day of getting drunk. Chloe says she does feel they found her match, especially considering that he's wearing the pink suit. I got the pink Converses on, and they're going to have so much fun getting to know each other. In a confessional, he says, he had to consider the possibility that this wouldn't go right again. But he actually got the best case scenario because it really feels like she wants this, and it feels like she likes him. We then get the photos. All the photos are going on. Michael gets introduced to Chloe's mom. We see the pics. They're good pics, good pictures.
I felt like they were very comfortable with each other. If we're going, because we're just judging based on that. We're judging based on how they are together. Are they, are things awkward? But it felt comfortable.
I mean, Chloe says as much. She says it feels very comfortable taking the photos, and when he touches me, it feels soft and organic. During the photos, they get an opportunity to kind of sit and talk a little more. And she asks him about all his tattoos, and he explains, the tattoos, what's going on with the tattoos, how they're connected to his family. He talks about the ones for his mom and for his sister that are on each side of his neck, and says, he talks about how much they mean to him. More talk about how comfortable they are with each other, and they say, already kind of feels intimate as they keep taking these pictures.
He said he does have more to show her later on his body.
You gonna see, girl. You gonna see. At the we get to the reception. At least someone knows what the glass clicking means. It's like, pretty sure that means you're supposed to kiss. Like, oh, cool. So they do kiss. They're very comfortable kissing. I like that part of it, because nowadays it's like, I don't even know if you get one kiss at the altar.
Exactly. Barely.
And so Orion, so we get more from the couples, from our previous couples. Orion has the nerve to actually speak to Lauren. And he says, "So how have you been?"
They're sitting by each other. Lauren did not want that.
They were forced to sit by each other.
Yes.
They were.
They're like, it's assigned seats. You have to sit where your name is.
Montreal's like, nah, y'all ain't getting away with this. Lauren, Orion, you all sitting together. Britt and Emily, y'all are sitting together. Stop trying. Get away from each other. Go on. Get next to each other.
And Claire's like, I have my phone if you need me to call Cameron.
He didn't pick up the last 12 times, but I'm sure he'll pick up on the 13th.
Right. Just let me know when you have a cameraman free. I'll make the call.
Make sure my mic's on and ready.
Right.
Orion. So yeah, Orion asked Lauren how she's been. She says she's okay. She's getting back into yoga and meditation. He asks how she is emotionally. She says, up and down. He says, yeah, me too. Yeah, you too. Okay. He says, before the night ends, if you want to have like a conversation about what happened, I'm all for it. She says, no need.
Yeah.
She says, I have no lingering animosity about the situation, and really being able to step back and take the emotions out of it has really helped. She also talks about how, in the whole situation, she scared herself by taking the ring off and raising her voice. And she wasn't sure where they came from, but then she talked about it with her therapist. And apparently she's still dealing with past relationships that, where she was told she wasn't enough. She was told anything she did just wasn't enough. And Orion says, oh, so I guess when you overheard me say that you weren't doing enough, that's really what kind of did it.
It was that, right? It was something else, huh? She's like, no, it was that. But it was
it was definitely that. It was also other things. You definitely did enough to deserve the voice raising. That didn't come out of nowhere. But also part of it was that.
It's like he was trying to get a real quick out. Oh, so it wasn't me at all, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't do that to you. Like, no, you did. You definitely did.
I was so glad you said that. Oh, it was that.
Yeah. So he talks. He says, I also talked to my therapist, and what we talked about is where my stubbornness comes from. And we talked about the first time that I decided that I wouldn't tolerate verbal abuse.
The way
Laura said, Laura looked at him like, he said, "Oh, I'm not saying that that's what you did." She's like, "Oh, good."
Then please explain to me the relevance of you bringing that up then.
She's like, because you're about to get this champagne glass upside your head. Okay. He says, no, I'm not talking about you. You did that wasn't you. He says, I just don't like elevated voices in conversations, because from when I was a young child, I would hear the women in my family, they get cheated on, they get yelled at. The first time it happened to me was when I was 5. So ever since then, I've really just had problems with elevated voices in conversations. And my therapist told me that I was, doing all that stuff at our honeymoon to really protect myself. Lauren says, well,
and from afar, you hear Brennan go, y'all are in therapy?
Weak. Y'all are whack.
It's just like, I could only imagine how he felt or how he would have felt if he actually heard this. Like, what are they talking about? They're trying to.
And what's also interesting throughout this conversation with Lauren and Orion? It's actually a 3-shot, because you see Orion, Lauren, and you also see Claire next to Lauren. And Claire's like riding the fence between listening and like trying to act like she's not listening. She's like,
yeah,
like, what's going on? I'm not listening. No.
Hey.
All right, Claire.
Right.
And so Lauren says, also through therapy, it helped her not hold fault for either of them. And she knows that, even though their marriage didn't work out, they're both going to grow from this and become more successful people. Lauren's just really trying to shine this turd up. He then has the unmitigated gall and the nerve to ask for a hug. Can I get a hug? And
where my hug at?
Where my hug at, girl? Until I see you, I can get a hug. And she does a nice thing, and she gives it to him. Now, on after party, she did say, it took a lot for me to give him that hug. I wanted to say no, but I decided to give him the hug.
Even Jamel was like, you better than me. Jamel Hill was on after party.
Yeah, she did the damn thing, including calling Brendan an emotional terrorist. I was like,
The way
yes.
I bust out laughing.
I was like, drag him. Do it.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Chloe also on After Party, who controversially did not wear pink, as all the ladies have been wearing pink the whole season of After Party. So I don't know what we're supposed to read into that, because the first time Chloe was on After Party, she did wear pink. This time she did not. I was like, what am I supposed to read into this?
I don't know, because it wasn't like, oh, I'll just wear a different shade, like a lighter pink. Maybe it looks white on camera or my TV, you know.
Let my look pink on your TV.
Right? But she went completely different with green. Rudy had on pink. Jamel Hill had on pink. Of course, Lauren had on pink. So that was odd.
Yeah. They're falling out between y'all ladies. What's going on?
Did somebody not get added to the group text?
Who knows?
No, because she wore pink last time. So
yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it was a coincidence.
We'll see. We'll see. So Chloe comes over to visit the ladies, all the other ladies in the experiment. Chloe says, she is a little concerned. She wonders why the experts didn't see her as the right fit for Michael the first time. Emily says, well, actually, I mean, you do seem like a really good fit for Michael, because you both seem to be very easygoing. She says it's not about being overlooked. Everything happens for a reason. Claire says, Michael is so committed to this. He went through this twice, and you seem so
He'll
deserving.
go to a third time if he can.
Yeah, you seem so deserving, Chloe. I said deserving. Why does this person seem deserving to you? You've known this person for 10 minutes. Why is she deserving, Claire? Explain it. She can't.
Another case of talking to talk.
It's just words. Yeah, it's just words. Claire says, you have great energy. Just keep being yourself. All right. Chloe says she already feels comfortable with Michael. Claire says, you guys just really have to lean on each other. He seems like a really well-rounded guy who's going to have your back.
And meanwhile, they don't know Michael that well.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, we don't know that. They could have had some interactions that we didn't see. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But not well enough to know he's a well-rounded guy, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Emily don't even know Brendan that well.
No. Emily says, don't forget to have fun. That's what's important. Emily says, when things got rocky for me, that's when we knew that it was important to keep having fun.
And I'm sure the girls looked at her. We promised not to talk about our own relationships.
Shut up, Emily. Shut up. Have another drink, Emily. Shut up. Right. Michael is hanging out with Brendan and Orion again, and Onion again. Sorry. He asked, so guys, what is it? Is it what do I have to look out for? Is it one big obstacle or a bunch of small ones?
All of the above.
Instead of the guys just look at each other and be like, I don't know, we're not really doing this. Brendan says, the wise sage that Brendan is, all of a sudden, he says, well, ideally, the experts matched you with the big obstacles not being a factor because you guys are matched so well. He says, so it's about overcoming the small obstacles, which is important in a relationship. And you can't plan for that type of thing. But Michael's going to have his own journey from theirs. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I said, no. There's a wrong way. Yeah. And both of y'all are doing it. Yes. Onion did it, and Brendan, you're doing it right now.
Actively.
That's the wrong way.
I don't know what Brendan is getting from this, like, oh my gosh, I'm important right now. I can give advice. Yeah. He needs me in this marriage.
I'm being asked my opinion right now. I really gotta act like I really have to act like I know what's going on around here.
He says, as an experienced man of marriage for the past month, I am here to provide all the great advice. Their relationship lies in my hands.
For point number one, don't get in the hot tub. Okay? I don't know if you heard this or not, but being in a hot tub and thinking really hard exerts a lot of effort, and you'll almost pass out.
Same as exercising. Point number 2, avoid Dr. Pia.
She is the devil. When they tell you they want you to sit down with her, don't do it.
It's a trap.
She's going to try to make you go to therapy.
She's going to say you need therapy.
Mm-hmm. You believe that? Michael's like, well, actually, I already go to therapy. Ugh.
He's like, Okay. Let's regroup. I don't know how to handle that.
Like, what is it with y'all in therapy? What is going on around here? You're men. Do you know that?
My goodness.
Okay. So Orion is in like, you know what I really liked about that whole wedding was the hand holding. He says, Brennan, give me your hands. And he like demonstrates the hand. Give me those hands. He says, I think Chloe's here for the right reasons, and you guys are gonna have a great time. I was like, all right, less from you, Onion, the better. All right. They cut the cake. Again, I'm still confused at the whole cake cutting thing. It seemed like the top part of the cake was literally levitating in air, and they were cutting the other piece. I don't know. There was like cake shenanigans. She put cake all over his face. He dropped some cake on her dress. I was like, all right. But through this, they do kiss some more. It's like, okay,
Yes.
y'all like kissing each other.
They
like
do.
that. As Claire looks on, like literally, Claire was looking at them like, that should be me.
Right. Oh my god. I will say the ladies all did look great at the wedding. Like Claire looked great, Lauren looked great per usual. Even
Emily?
I was gonna say I don't mean it like that, but even Emily.
Even Emily. Hot mess Emily even looked good.
But the ladies did come correct. I can't, Brennan was Brennan.
Listen, Brennan had on a suit jacket type of thing. He had on a button-up shirt, better than the hoodie he wore to the 1 month anniversary.
that nice dinner.
Yeah. So give him some credit. In a confessional, Claire says, seeing Michael and Chloe really brings about self-reflection. And it's just super weird to be here without Cameron. Being here seeing two people the experts put together really makes her think about how, that was at one time her and Cameron. The experts felt the same way about them. And, unfortunately, they're just a better friendship than anything else. But she knows that that's really going to grow.
You're not even working on it to grow. Like, I don't understand. She acts like they're in the same position as like Emily and Brennan.
Cameron does not want to be your friend.
He low-key probably has blocked your number. That's why he doesn't answer.
He don't want to talk to you. Okay. So Claire I'm sure being like, you guys got me right. If I walk over here and act like I'm doing this, like, just on my own volition, spontaneous, y'all got me right from across the room. Y'all going to be watching me, right? Okay. My mic pack's on. You can hear me. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. You can hear me. Okay. So she goes.
Imagine she had walked over already, and she's like, "No one's over here."
Where's the camera guy? Where's the sound guy? Camera guy? Where are they? I'm about to be emotional. I'm about to be vulnerable. So she goes off and she calls Cameron. He, of course, doesn't answer because Cameron's like, nope. Puts the phone down. Like, thought was somebody I wanted to talk to you, but no.
He picks it up and says, "Do not answer."
Yeah. Instead of Claire. So Cameron does not pick up. She says, "Hey, I just wanted to check on you, see how you were doing. It's not an emergency. Just, I just want to see how you were. This isn't the same without you here."
Okay. Like, I'm at the wedding. I was like, does he even know that you're like Michael's getting married?
How can we really prove that was an actual phone call to Cameron's number?
Somebody go check the call logs.
That she just wasn't on her blank phone. Like, when she's talking, and all of a sudden the phone starts ringing. Like,
right. She's on the phone, but you see,
yeah, like on bad TV shows that don't know how to have to hide it.
Hey, Cameron.
Yeah. So yeah, the ladies, she comes back to the ladies. She's like, "How's Cameron?" He's like, "I don't know. He didn't pick up." Lauren says, "He's probably just sleeping. He's probably just sleeping. He wants to talk. He's just asleep."
She goes, "Oh yeah, I haven't talked to him all day. I have a feeling y'all don't talk every day."
Yeah, for sure. You'll be lucky if you get a text returned
right
once a day. "How are you doing?" "Good." Right. One word text. So the ladies talk about how nervous they were on their wedding days. Claire says, "I'm so grateful you guys are here because if you weren't here, I would be just a nervous wreck. I'd be feeling all the emotions." Lauren says, "Yeah, it is good to have all of us here, even Orion." like, okay. Emily talks about how fun this all is and how she and Brennan, they're really trying to find the fun still. Emily says there's no more fun Emily than wedding Emily. So
Emily's ready to have a good time.
Oh, heck yeah. Emily is the life of the party, much to Brennan's chagrin. Okay.
Right.
We see Michael meeting with Chloe's mom and her friends. He says, that he's really psyched about her because she radiates so much love and energy. Michael tells them about getting stood up for the first time. They're like, oh, there they are, gas. Like, oh my god, that is so terrible. Like,
right.
This shows how strong you are.
You're strong, man.
You're strong. This is kind of interspersed with Chloe meeting his friends. I just kind of grouped Michael and Chloe together. So there's talk about kids. They ask. Actually, let me go to Chloe first. So Chloe also meets with his people because it's important. It's an important operation here.
Yes.
Chloe meets with Michael's people. She says, "I really love his style and the tattoos. It's all great. I love it. Are you sure? Like, are you sure, Chloe? Are you sure?"
I don't know. I'm just accepting her until we see how next week transpires. I'm accepting her words.
Okay, no problem. I understand. I got you. I like I said, I think I've been too much in detective mode trying to decipher these people. That I'm suspicious of everyone.
She may very well let me down.
Who knows? Who knows? So one of his friends asked her, "So what if Michael wanted to buy $1,000 pair of sneakers?" She says, "Well, me personally, I'm a minimalist, so it doesn't really do anything for me. But if that brings him joy, then I'm all for it." His friend's like, "Well, I was kind of hoping you say you talk him out of it because he really needs to stop doing that type of stuff."
He's like, "It's actually a problem."
Yeah, so how about you nip that in the bud immediately? Right. So Chloe does tell Michael's friends that she has been focused on Michael's feelings about the first time, and she says she's actually glad that she was kept in the dark by the experts because if she hadn't, she might not have gone through with this if she had known what was going on. So okay, experts knew a little something.
Never knew, she said.
Yeah,
just in case.
Yeah,
but it hasn't stopped her from being concerned.
Yeah, so she's a little concerned. She says her only fear is that if he hasn't fully sat with those emotions and processed them. Michael's friend's like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Michael is such a cerebral guy. He's definitely put in the effort and the time to get past it." She talks about how intelligent. No, actually, so one of Michael's friends go, "He's so intelligent." She's like, "He's so intelligent." I'm just wondering if Chloe's that type of person. Is like, you'll just repeat back to you what you said, make it sound like an original thought. He's so intelligent.
I wonder if Chloe's one of those people that like repeats the words back like it's an original thought. Yeah,
totally. She says she really admires that about Michael, that he's someone that seems like he's invested in learning every day. So Michael's friends ask if she wants kids. She says no.
And the music, oh.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. She says there's so many kids in foster care. She quotes the number. I think it was like 450,000. There are 450,000 kids in foster care. And I would just prefer to go that route instead of having kids of my own. And so that's the cliffhanger. Like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like, we're going to come back and Michael's going to say he really wants kids. He really wants biological children. He'll accept no other answer. So we come back from a commercial break and we get the flip side. Chloe's family is asking Michael, "So how do you feel about kids?" Michael says, basically, Michael's like, yeah, I could take him or leave him.
Right.
He doesn't literally say that. He's like, I don't need kids, but if my partner decides that that's something that they want, I'm okay with it. And her family's like, "So you would think about fostering, adoption?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, fostering, adoption, whatever she wants to do." He says, "I'm agnostic when it comes to how I have kids." And I was like, I don't know if that's the move to be like, take it or leave it. I don't know. I think you need to either be one way or the other, really.
I mean, that is how Becca is.
Yeah, I think it's weird because if you're so wishy-washy on it, when you have kids, you're like,
you might like them, may not.
Yeah. Who knows? It's not really something it is something you can back out of, but
so the way that I read it and the way that I took it from Chloe on the after party were two different things. So I saw Michael's answer as like that's a perfect scenario for Chloe because like I feel like the worst answer was, I want biological children, right? Because that's like she's saying she does not want to do that. But for him to say like, look, I'm not dying for children, but I'm open to it if my partner wants to, and like we can move about it that way, right? Like it's like I'm open to it. I'm not anti-children. But the way that Chloe was on the after party, she was like, when they played that clip, because Rudy was playing it as in, wow, y'all both had these conversations at the same time. And, you know, and Chloe was like, yeah, I'm very proud of my friends for bringing that up because they know how important that is to me. So it felt like she didn't like his answer.
Interesting.
I don't know. I just got that vibe.
Huh. I don't know. We'll see. I wonder if it's going to come up again.
Yeah.
We then shoot over. We get into more of our previous relationship drama as we come over to Emily and Brennan. And they're just kind of hanging out because I'm sure they were forced to. Montre's like, Brennan, get over here and talk to Emily right now.
Oh, do I have to?
Do I have to? Like somebody told him to clean his room. Like, fine.
Like
what?
you literally haven't said a word to her this entire time.
Yeah, that's the way I want to keep it. So they're standing around chatting. Emily says, you know, it's really crazy that we're back here at our wedding venue, right? He says, can't really thought about it. It's just another place to be, Emily. I try to black out that day off as much as I can.
I'm just supporting a friend.
Yeah, I try not to remember that day. I'm just here supporting friends. Okay, don't. He's like, don't make this bigger than it is. Okay, this is just another place to me. All right. He literally says,
"Girl, chill."
You getting to be too much, Emily. Calm down. You're starting to get into your Emily ways. And he literally says, "It's like I go to wedding venues all the time." Literally.
He said, let me humble you real quick. Yeah, I'm not thinking about this marriage.
He says, yeah, it just hasn't hit me that this is our wedding venue. You know.
I was like, leave it to Brennan to give the worst responses ever all the time. And I'm like, he knows this is going to get under her skin.
Yeah. So they really start getting to like a passive aggressive off at this point. Because Emily's like, yeah, just brings you back to when I was having like a nervous panic attack with my dad. And Brennan's like, I'm super excited to hear about the honeymoon. Emily's like,
she said,
their honeymoon?
You're excited about their honeymoon.
He's like, yeah, I'm excited to hear about it when they get back. And Emily then jokes, she's like, yeah, because that's where things go downhill at the honeymoon. And Brennan at this moment is trying his best not to go off on her. He's just like, because you can see the fakeness in Brennan's eyes in these moments here. And Brennan talks about, they're gonna come to us for advice. And I was like, Emily says, what advice would you give? Who are you to give advice in this situation? He says, what's the advice you want to give him? The honeymoon stage is where it ends. And then Brennan, in the crappiest way possible, is like, well, if you feel the same way about them that you did the honeymoon phase never ends. Emily. If you feel the same way that you did on the honeymoon. I was like, oh my gosh. This was such a shade off. It was so good.
It's like Emily is finally like in her Emily way trying to say how she feels, right? She is saying what's on her mind, right?
I felt like there were definitely some jabs there. Some like
right.
Yeah,
on purpose because she's annoyed.
Yeah.
He just doesn't respond to it. Because he just rather ignore and just like whatever.
Well, in this moment, he knows for sure there's a camera on him. We've seen Brennan when he doesn't realize there's a camera on him and how he speaks. And because he knows there's a camera on him right now, he is trying to, in his mind, take the high road and not fall for the trap of arguing with her in this moment. Now, once they get home and the cameras aren't on anymore, I'm sure he's going to bring this back up. Okay. Why would you try to embarrass me like that at the wedding? Right? I'm sure it's like something like that.
Yep. Thinking I can't give good advice.
Yeah,
I give great advice.
Yeah. In a confessional, Emily said, Emily. She says she knows Brennan thinks they don't have chemistry, but she knows they did. And that's what's keeping her positive. The fact that she knows they had chemistry and they can get it back. I said,
she won't let that go.
Every time I think there's hope for you, Emily, you just prove to me that you are hopeless.
It's the year is 2029, and Emily is like, me and Brennan did have chemistry.
And I would say to her, when I say to her now, what show were you watching?
Right.
We weren't watching the same show. I know you experienced it, but I saw it as well.
Early on, early in the honeymoon.
You know,
It
like the
was
10 minutes after
there.
we got married, it was there. So this is where the show really kind of starts to throw Emily under the bus a little bit, I thought. Because from here on out, they're gonna show Emily every time Emily gets a drink, which I'm sure I don't know how many drinks each person had, but I don't know if it was way more than anyone else. But they make sure to give us a point of seeing Emily ask for drinks and see Emily drinking.
And I'm sure anyone out there who's been to a wedding with an open bar would not want a camera on them every time they revisited the bar.
Yeah, 100%. So it shows her drinking a lot. She's out on the dance floor dancing just like everyone else, but we're focused on Emily. I was also focused on how badly Michael dances. I had seen it on the after parties because every time he's on after party and they come in from a commercial break, he's doing a little dance in his seat. And then I saw it again at this wedding and how badly he dances. Like, you should have rhythm. Like, you are someone I feel like would have rhythm. Like, what is happening with you?
You look like you have a little flavor.
Yeah. But they also show Emily dancing on the dance floor. They're trying to get us to be like, look at her. She's out of control drunk. And they show her, they really cut around this very well.
Yeah.
They show her on the dance floor, and apparently someone spills their drink. Emily doesn't drop her drink, and I think they want us to think that she, in her drunken dancing all over the dance floor, drunken state, knock someone's drink over. And I was like, okay. And then they show, and then we hear Brennan say that he is done for the night, and then we see him walking away to somewhere. I was like, that is the most contrived thing I've ever seen. It's like the show saying, see, Emily's drunkenness is too much for Brennan. Like, I was like, come on now.
And that would be weird because that would mean that the show is like trying to take Brennan's side, which in what reality would anyone feel the need to take his side?
I think as much as they can, they want to give us both sides of a situation. And I think this is their attempt of being like, see, this is Brennan's problem with her. She gets too drunk. So I was like, okay, good, nice try, show. Nice try.
I was like, there's one dropped glass with an open bar. That's a good scenario. I've been to a wedding where literally all of the bottoms of our dresses, because people kept spilling wine. And it was like their open bar was like mostly wine. And so it was like the floor was just all sticky. All of our shoes were off because we were just like, didn't want to mess up our shoes. So it was like,
would you rather have sticky wine all over the bottom of your feet?
Yeah, you can wash your feet. Shoes can be ruined.
Oh, okay.
Not you judging us.
I mean, that's an interesting way to go. I'd rather have sticky wine feet than have the bottoms of my shoes be sticky.
It's way easier to clean my feet than my shoes. Heels.
Okay, sure. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying. But yeah, this is definitely an intention to be like, oh, look, Emily's out of control. Which I didn't really get that from anything Emily did.
It really just felt like she was having a good time.
Yeah. So Michael and Chloe leave the wedding reception. They got a whole little valley of sprinklers with people on each side. Sparklers, not sparklers. Like what?
I don't remember sprinklers. Then I was like, I will trust your word.
Wouldn't that get them wet? Wouldn't that?
Then all of a sudden, these sprinklers started going off.
And they ran through the sprinklers like a romantic movie.
Chloe was drenched. Michael's hair fell flat.
No, they were sparklers. In the confessional, Michael says he sees the future with her. And he says she's the perfect balance of confidence and intelligence. You can tell that she is super sweet. She says, I'm on cloud 12. Chloe had definitely had something to drink for sure. And she says, all the boxes have been ticked.
She made me question what is the typical saying. And obviously, I was like, cloud 10? No, it's cloud 9.
Yeah. We know you and sayings. You've had quite the history on this show.
She threw me off quick.
You're going to start using cloud 12 all the time. No, it's cloud 12. I heard on the show.
Right.
Michael also says in his confessional he can't wait to start life with her, and this wedding day was everything he could have asked. Chloe says she doesn't have a thing to worry about right now. It feels so easy and comfortable, and this can be really special. We then get to the bridal suite. Is that what it's called? The bridal suite? Honeymoon suite? Bridal suite. What is it called?
The wedding night hotel room.
The wedding night place.
Right.
He carries her over the threshold, of course, banging her head into the door, as many people do. And he basically drops her on the bed. She's like, "Oh, this is so great." She is on one. She is, which explains a lot of what happens next after this. He, in typical MAFS fashion, helps her take her dress off. There are lots of buttons. Oh. And in this moment, I was like, it's so weird to be focused on someone's back. Like you just see like the little pimples you get on people's backs. I'm like, it's so odd to be just focused on these people's backs. In a confessional, Chloe says there's going to be a lot of culling tonight. She says she's just hot thinking about it. She was definitely her drunk era right now. In a confessional, he says it's great being married to her specifically, to Chloe specifically. He is so comfortable around her and looks forward to all the cuddling. She's in the bathroom taking her makeup off. She says, "This is me being really vulnerable with him, taking all my makeup off." And she says, Michael seems like the kind of guy that would say something like, you're more beautiful with no makeup. I said, "Oh, don't tell Kristen that." From San Diego season. She'll go after you. And then Chloe's like, "You know what? I bet even if I put on one of these fake lashes on my forehead and I come out and show him, he'll laugh at that." So she does that, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's look."
See,
I say, "Yeah, that's the look we're going for." Yeah, hilarious.
She does tell us on After Party that like this whole thing started. It was a joke because she had joked about not taking her makeup off, and if she did that, she would end up with eyelashes on her. Eyelashes could end up on her head.
That doesn't help the joke, Chloe. It doesn't help.
Context matters.
Sure. She then gets in bed with a whole like hotel robe on. I'm like,
that's hot.
What's happening here?
Yeah.
Is there anything under that robe? What are you planning something? What's going on? Did you have some laundry on that you didn't want the whole world to see? What's happening? They go to bed and they turn out all the lights. So like, all right, let's get the camera crew out of here. Let's go ahead and say we're going to bed so that they can leave, so that we can do whatever it is we're actually going to do. Yeah. Because they do it quick. They're in bed quick. Like, all right, night, bye. All
Blow
right.
out the candles.
Yeah, we're done. They go to bed. They cuddle. She says, "Oh, you get to be the big spoon." And then we hear kissing noises. I'm like, that doesn't seem what's happening right now. And then we just get a soundbite from Chloe. Says, "You better not tempt me." Now listen, show. You're really trying hard to sell a bill of goods here. Like that is not what she said in the moment.
What was Pastor Cal thinking in this moment?
Yeah. Nah, keep the camera rolling. I want to see all the footage. Get a Nest Cam in there. I want to see all. Consummate. Pastor Cal, right on the honeymoon. Here goes Pastor Cal.
We're like, odd. We haven't seen you in episodes.
Anybody got some good news for me? No, we did not have sex, Pastor Cal. What is it with you people in Denver? Not giving me any of the good stuff.
He's like, we need to improve that questionnaire before.
Are you down to clown first night? Is the first question on my questionnaire.
We are only taking all yeses.
Yeah, each of the three experts should have their own questionnaire about what's important to them to match you. Are you down to clown first night? Number one. If I see a no on that paper, you're not getting in.
Pastor Cal's is, are you down to clown? Dr. Pia's is, how do you feel about therapy?
No, are you ready to have fun? Because that's her thing.
Are you ready to avoid serious conversations so you can have fun? And then Dr. Pepper is, what is your favorite movie?
Yeah. What's your favorite color? Dr. Piers is like, are you going to give me pushback if I come to talk to you?
Right.
Are you going to be a jerk when I come
What
to
would
visit
you say if I suggested therapy for you?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, so that's our episode. That's how we end. We're in bed, we're
I told you
cuddling.
we were gonna do hour and a half.
Yeah, we're there. Next time we get honestly, we get the same old from Austin and Becca. He says, "Oh, I'm just not ready for physical intimacy yet. Just not there." Blah blah blah. This man.
I'm Becca now because I'm sure she's thinking like, okay, now I've gone and I've met your extended family. Things are going what? Like,
We've
because
been
she's
on a
like,
plane together going to
yeah.
Philly. Philly.
Because she's just like, she's not used to being in the passenger seat, and that's how she feels right now. And the fact that they have not progressed at all in her book is just like,
what more do I have to do?
Yeah.
Like, what I don't even think Austin can answer that. Like, what more do you need to see before we're ready? Like, I just need you to accept Jesus Christ into your heart. That's what I need, Becca. Brendan and Emily, again, just more. I think even Patrick Cal in the previews, like, and with our rest of our couples, tensions escalate, and that is definitely the way it is for Brendan and Emily, because she tells him, "You don't treat me like a friend," and then he's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" What does that mean?
Right? It sounded like a threat. Like,
and he had
you
some
don't
like
want me
little,
to go off, do you?
Yeah, he has, because he tries to stop. He's like, he puts a hand up to her. He's like, "Oh, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to make me look bad on camera? Is that what you want to be doing right now? Didn't we have a conversation about this?" And I think there was some like exercise with paddles or something. And he like holds up a little bit, like, "You sure you want to do this?" Brennan. Friend, and she's talking to one of her friends on FaceTime. She's like, "I would run for the hills." Like, yeah.
So it looks like more trouble in paradise. I mean, at this point, they have had way more disastrous episodes than good ones.
Oh, I think they had 2 good episodes, maybe.
Yeah, if we look back at our ratings, because literally no point in rating them this episode. But if we look back at our ratings at Emily and Brennan, we peaked at a 3. And that was episode. So like we were at a 3, episodes 4 through 7. And we've been at a 1 ever since.
Yeah, it's not gonna get any better. And we haven't even gotten to the okay, which one is it? ATV or snowmobile? I forget.
It was, I think it was snowmobile, right?
Okay.
No. It was ATVs. They had wheels.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I said the snowmobile because they're in snow, and you're like, actually,
because they weren't. Yeah, the snowmobiles are on like sleds or
I don't know,
skis,
whichever one it is. We haven't even got to that point yet. So
yeah. Oh, can you imagine how comforting he won't be?
Yeah, for real. Like, I'll see you when you get out of the hospital. Hopefully, you'll be in there for another 2 weeks, so we can.
Then all of a sudden, I can't wait to see my my wife. He turns into Claire. He just morphs into Claire.
And also we also see Claire on the preview talking to Emily because she's still here, so she might as well do something. So we'll send her in.
Claire said, "My contract said I'm on every episode."
Yeah. So, where you want me today? Who am I talking to today? I'll talk to anyone you want. I just got to make sure I'm on that camera. So yeah.
She tries to become Chloe's best friend just so she can be more in the mix. I know they're gonna be on at least a few episodes. Oh gosh. Yes.
Like a Chloe in their apartment and they're gonna knock on the door. Who is it? Oh my god. It's Chloe. Right. Turn on the light, pretend like we're not home.
Well, thank you, Jason, for letting me be a passenger princess today.
Of course. It was a tough job. I had to, talk a lot. You know how much I hate that.
Okay, podcaster. You killed it. You did great.
Thank you.
We will be back next week to talk about episode 15. I'll be very curious to see how the rest of the season transpires because it's not looking good for our remaining couples. None of them. We might stand a chance. But even we saw in the preview, Michael and Chloe are at dinner, or they're eating in their apartment, and she's like, I just can't do it.
What can't you do, Chloe? I'm sure it's deceptive editing, but
yeah, she's
is she
terrified.
crying?
Like, yeah, it looks like she was a little teary eyed. She's terrified to get back to reality. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I won't cast any judgment right now. We'll see. But yes, make sure y'all go join our Facebook group, Perfect Match Podcast. Password is Give Me Those Hands.
Give me those hands.
And subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed. Jason, where can people keep up with you?
You can keep up with me on Twitter at JAYR1085. Be sure to check me out next week on Crime Scene, the podcast about true crime documentaries, true crime properties. We're talking about American Nightmare.
I started it. I'm like, I'm on episode 1.
It was a good documentary. So check me out on there with Mari and Sarah, aka Doc, two frequent guests on this podcast. That will be releasing next week. So check me out there.
Awesome. And y'all can follow me on all social media at Aysha like Aysha. That's AYSHA like ASIA. You can follow RHAPup sisters too on TikTok as Pepper and Cinnamon's TikTok. I'll tell them they need to be posting more. They've just been doing a lot of sleeping lately. So yeah.
Tell them not to rest on their laurels. They got to crank out that content. You know, those followers aren't going to stay if they don't crank out that content.
Right. They're like, they can take what they can get right now. I literally just I've been looking for the perfect mirror for my room. Finally found one, put in the corner of my room. It's great. It's been there a week. Today, I'm in the bathroom getting ready for the podcast. Cinnamon starts barking and darts towards the mirror and like jumps at it. I said, "It's you.
Who are you? How'd you get in here? Why do you look like me?"
She literally scared herself, saw herself attack the mirror. If it had shattered, I would have shattered to pieces. So
she thinks another Mulchi-Poo is coming to take her territory.
She said,
"Get out of here!"
You got to be kidding me.
You brought more dogs in here, Mom? Me and my sister weren't enough.
So that's what's happening over here. But yes, we will be back next week to talk about episode 15. So catch us then. So until then, we'll see y'all next week. Bye.